Do you guys ever wonder how much food is produced in America? Do you ever stop and think about how much food do we actually waste, or the cost of that waste? Roughly 1/3 of the food produced in the entire world for human consumption is wasted each year. That's 1.3 billion tons. Every year, consumers in the world waste as much food, 222 million tons, as the entire net food production of Africa. In the United States alone, we produce over 500 million tons of food, and we waste 30% of that food. And that's equal to $48.3 million. Or billion dollars, sorry. There are nearly 1 billion malnourished people in the world, and the food we produce in the U.S. households, corporations, and retailers is enough to feed all of them for an entire year. Approximately 32% of all food purchased by people in the world is wasted. In the U.S. alone, organic waste is the second highest component of landfills, and which is the largest source of methane gas in the United States as well, more than cars. And there are several reasons for this waste. For one, we are not educated. We're not educated on the waste, the amount, and the consequences of the waste itself. This creates a lack of awareness because of the lack of education, the lack of shopping planning, the confusion of best before and use by dates, and the lack of knowledge of how to cook leftovers for the next day. According to an article on stilltasty.com, use by and best by dates do not always mean that that's when you need to throw the food away. They're actually more made up so that people will consume more often. Most expiration dates were created for that purpose so that you'll throw it away and just buy new food before it's even ready, when most of the food is actually good for another 2 weeks to a month past the expiration date. And we do not stick to standard portion sizes, especially in the United States. We all know that we eat the largest portion sizes in the world. And we do not, and especially with catering, we order way too much, and everyone who doesn't eat the food wastes it. So then we also plan more than needed when we just make dinner for people at home, and a lot of times we end up throwing that food away. Another reason is the management in stores and retailers. They order way too much and end up throwing a lot of it away because they can't sell it before people buy it off the shelf. And the marketing strategies behind businesses such as the buy one, get one free, or buy two, get one free deals, they have you buy more than you need, and you don't even eat the second one usually. There's also a large amount of overproduction in the United States. We just make way too much food, and they don't even get it out to the distributors in time. Usually they waste a lot of food that way. There's a lot of issues with the way food is transported as well, and the stacking of crates that hold it. A lot of them get smashed through production and transported, or they're not transported in the right temperatures, and they waste food that way. And I work at King Soopers, as I've said before, and I see that firsthand. We can't make sure all food is sold, of course, because some things just are bad by the time we get them, or just a bad product. But the large amounts of fruits and vegetables in my produce department that we just throw away just because they're a little brown or have a little scratch on them and they're not sell quality, we just throw it away. We can't sell it. And a lot of times the food that we sell isn't properly rotated. We do our best to do so, but at the same time things get kind of mixed up. You can't really see the date on an actual piece of fruit. And a lot of that gets thrown away because it doesn't sell by the time it should. By the time it should. In the deli department, we see all the chicken that is made fresh each day, and then we just throw it away at the end of the day if nobody buys it. We do this because there's laws against selling chicken that has been used because it could sicken somebody by the time we get it to them. And a lot of times the businesses don't really want to take the time or money to get that food where it needs to go. So there's some definitely solutions to this issue. We can do food donation. Donate food that you guys don't finish. You know, they do the canned food drives at school and stuff like that. If you guys aren't honestly going to eat it soon, you might as well give it to somebody who will, so we don't end up throwing it away. The fresh chicken, like I said, they could definitely change the way things are written. You know, they could just take it down at the end of the day and give it to people who need it the same day. You know, it shouldn't go bad within a day. And same with produce. They just take that produce that isn't rotten and they could just give it to a homeless shelter or something so somebody can eat. There is a corporation, Food Bank of the Rockies, and they distribute 88,000 meals a day, and they've distributed over 530 million to date. And they take all sorts of donations, money or food, and you can give them food and they'll feed people every day. And solutions we can do at home, we can make a list of what you need. Stick to your list and don't overshop. Don't give in to the temptations of buying lots of crap you don't need. Keep your fridge healthy. You'll eat more of what is healthy because it doesn't fill you up and isn't full of preservatives. And use leftovers and don't just throw it out. You know, spaghetti from one day may be a little dried out, but there's solutions to making that tastier so you don't just throw it away. If you guys have a garden by chance, just give them the rotten vegetables and it'll biodegrade and feed your garden that way, so we don't waste that way. And then corporations can do a lot more. They can create programs to track sales and ordering so they don't have to order as much. And they can watch out for the use by dates a lot closer and mark them down so that they will sell faster and they won't expire on the shelf. And create better stacking systems so that products aren't damaged through transport. And maybe possibly extend the expiration dates. Like I said, a lot of them are not exactly accurate, and they can survive a lot longer than that. So all of these can help reduce the amount of waste we do in the United States and the wasting of resources.